Hi everyone, Ryan here, Ion Capital Solutions. Thanks again to everybody who's been following along and watching us as we grow. There's a lot of really neat and useful tools and modules that we've created to help expedite the process of handling the volume that you'll handle, whether it's the leads that you're handling, right, deals and those and the corresponding documents. Uh, just what your daily outreach should look like, right? Once you connect with people, there's a natural follow up, right? How do you manage that when you're talking to a tremendous amount of people? And that's what it takes to fund deals. You need to be talking to a tremendous amount of people, right? So, what do these tools look like, right? Also, if you are underwriting a file, right, analyzing bank statements, right? Trying to choose a product or products from your network of lenders, right, for your client, right? What does that process look like? How long does it take you to do this? How much time are you spending on this? Let's say you're connecting with a lot of people, you're talking with a lot of people, but now all this other workflow comes into play to where you have to work that file. Are you still marketing? Are you still bringing in leads? You need a consistent funnel. You can't stop and table one thing and jump to the next. There needs to be a balance to it all, right? So how do you go about that, right? Well, let me show you some of the tools we use here at Ion, and you can see for yourself, right? So to start, I guess we could show you how we organize our client lists, right? Not only are we setting our milestones, right, but we're tracking our daily outreach. We're tracking the numbers, right, what that should spit out to in terms of results, right, both for business funding, for real estate investment funding, right, for multiple platforms, right, whatever it is. But also, if I could just move over here, how are we managing our clients, our actual clients, right? The ones we're negotiating with, even dead deals, right? Are you following up with these people? Are you taking notes, right? Are you taking notes? Are you separating your warm leads from your cold leads, right? And your warm leads, every day, are you updating your notes for each point of contact, right? Are you using a list that you're just writing, a post-it, you're just writing stuff down? You're going to be able to manage all of that and all those people? You're going to go back through the third notebook that you filled out and go find someone's name? No, it doesn't work like that. And spending time writing that all down and creating tabs is super outdated model and way of doing things. Are you using a basic find function? Are you inputting, say, the date of the day that it is, right? And you want to know, or maybe it's tomorrow and you want to know what your calls look like, right? You can just sift through a list of 100, 200, 500, 1,000 people and quickly get to the bottom line, right? Your email blast lists. Are you inputting that information? Where did the lead come from? Are you taking them off your subscribe list, right? Do you have a duplicates filter? These are important things, right? This is just one of the many, many tools that you get access to when you join Ion. Right? If you're thinking to start this thing, have you taken the time to build this stuff out for yourself? If not, are you going to spend money on it? Right? How many solutions to how many problems will you have available at your fingertips if you just try and do it yourself? And how much is that going to cost before you're out of business? Right? You have to think of these things. Right? Here we already have, we're actively doing it, using it, you can use it too. And you can start with just working deals and making money. Then along the way, you can get creative, learn how to build your own systems and tools, whatever. But let's look at some more, right? Here we have our quote calculator. I should say a quick quote tool, excuse me. And basically you input the client's information, the paper grade, the state it's in, whatever it is, right? Their open balances. And then based on that, it'll let you know what lender to send to, what product or products that they qualify for. It'll spit out an answer, a yes, a no, and why. Right? Very, very useful tool when selecting a lender, when selecting products. So you're going to go through every single lender guidelines that you have, right? Are you going to do that? Are you going to be able to go through and memorize all that stuff for each individual thing? You're going to have to go back, read through it again. It's not efficient. It's not efficient. You need to build grids. You need software. You need tools that expedites the process so you're fast. So you're on the phone with a client, you can spit a quote right back at them. You can punch your calculator and do the math. You're faster, smarter, more capable, and you'll beat out the competition. It's just that simple. It's the same thing with the way you're analyzing financials, right? Are you looking at deposit amounts and averages and all these things off the bank statement, assuming that it looks good and just sending to the lender? That is not how brokers do things. You need to underwrite the file yourself. You need to understand what's a qualified deposit, what's a non-qualified deposit. You have to pay attention to payments. Are there missed payments, stop payments? Are there large wires that come in? Is there fraud? You need to pay attention to these things, right? You need a tool to help you house that information to let you know if there's potential funding room, right? You also need to have a worksheet, right, to input notes and information about a deal, right, about that particular month. Right? What was the positive? What was the negative? What were the, eventful things that happened in that state? Was there a huge deposit or wire? A huge withdrawal? Right? Questionable withdrawals? Was it a daily payment? Now all of a sudden it's a weekly payment, or it stalled for 3 weeks and then started back up again at the end of the month? What's that about? Lenders are going to want to know. These are questions lenders are going to ask, and they're going to ask for additional documents. You can get ahead of these things. You just have to know what you're doing. You need to properly house the information. Now, it all sounds easy enough, but actually going through it, actually building this stuff out for yourself so that you have it readily available, right? You haven't considered that. And in trying to do that, getting frustrated, and then wanting to purchase something, right, so that you can get that solution. It's an individual solution. Think of how many problems you'll experience. Think about all the individual solutions that you'll have to purchase. Think about how that adds up. How does that help you? Especially if you're out there buying leads. Your profit margin's probably razor thin, or you're already losing money, right? So it's important. It's important to think about the little things, the things maybe you haven't considered yet, right? And why struggle through those things when you can just focus on the real issue, making money, right? Learn along the way, sure. Learn how to build tools and what's the best and all that stuff, sure. But right away working on the deals, learning how to process these deals, how to underwrite them, how to sell them, qualify your applicants, right? But do it with working active tools, with a functioning brokerage that is making money doing exactly what we're teaching you to do. Because we're both a training program and a functioning brokerage that is cash flowing, and we're doing that with our brokers in training. We didn't hire people to come in, no sales professionals, no professional brokers with 10 years experience, none of that. Just people joining our program, learning more about how it all works, and making money. This is just some of the ways we do that. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. If you like what you see, please go ahead and click the link in the description. You can learn more about us on our website, even about our affiliate program. And for any new videos that we post, if you'd like to be notified, just turn on notifications, subscribe, click the button below. We'd appreciate it if you could drop a like as well. And you'll be updated right away. You'll be able to continue to follow along. All right. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.